What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be taking you on a little tutorial of the basics of command line. So there's lots of people out there who know absolutely nothing about command line and would like to learn more, but it's a little daunting to most people, and that's why Windows has become so popular, because of its graphical interface. You don't have to use command line at all. But today I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks and the basics of command line. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing you're gonna see is this this thing up here, which it's very specific what's happening. So it says Cali @ Cali : this thing in blue, and then $. And the thing before the @ sign is who you are. So that's like the user that you are. So if you're logged in I'm logged in as Cali right now. And the @ just shows as a placeholder, and then Cali is the computer I'm on. So I'm Cali the user on Cali the computer. And then it has the :, and then the blue thing is the directory you're in. So that's kind of like where you are in the file system. So this is the home directory for Cali. That's what the tilde means. It's the home directory for the Cali user. And the first command I'm going to be teaching you is ls, which you're going to learn throughout the process that when you use command line, you want to use as least amount of letters as possible, because you don't want to be typing longer than you have to. So ls actually means list, but because coders are lazy, they took out the T and the I, and it's ls now. So if we do ls and then enter, it shows me everything that's in the tilde folder, which is desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, all the things you normally see in a home folder that would be on a graphical interface, like what you'd normally see. And there's actually different things you can do with the ls command, and those would be adding arguments. So if you wanted to see what are the different things I can do with ls, you could use a command called man, which is short for manual. So man, and then you type the command you want the manual for, ls, and then you click enter, and lots of stuff is going to pop up, and it's going to show you all the arguments. If you do -a, that means all, and there's all the different things that you can do. And I'm going to press Q to quit, because that's what it says down here, Q to quit. And then I can, if I want to use the all thing, I'm going to do ls-a, because that's what it said in the man pages. So ls-a, and then I click enter, and see, it's going to show more. It's going to show lots of ones with that it didn't show before, that have dots before them. And that's because in Linux, every file with a dot before it is a hidden file. If you've done anything in the File Explorer on your Windows machine or anything like that, you'd know that there's hidden files that it doesn't necessarily always show you, and you have to turn on or turn off a setting to make it show you those files. And that's exactly what this is. It's just you name them differently in order for them to be hidden, and you use the -a, all, argument, in order to display those. And see, you've still got the desktop, documents, downloads, but you've also got all these hidden ones displayed now onto the terminal. And the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is cd, which actually stands for change directory, but they've shortened it to CD. and so you type cd change directory, and so that's going to make you move into the new directory that you want to. Now with this color scheme I have, the directories are blue, see, blue up here, and the files are green. So this bash rc, this bash rc original are files, and these are directories. And you can see that here, this is blue. That means that's a directory too. That's the directory I'm in right now. And so I can type cd, and then say I want to go into documents. I just type documents, and you see here the command prompt has changed. It's changed from just a tilde to a tilde slash documents. And this is important. It changed the working directory. That changed the directory that we're in. So now instead of being in this, we're in this still, but we're in a level deeper. We're in this and we're in this. So we're in tilde, root, and documents. And now if we ls, nothing's going to show up because I have nothing in documents. But if we ls-a, then it shows that there's actually two things in there. Now this dot and this two dots are directories, and they're going to be in every directory that you can ever come across. And the dot, they're just placeholders. The dot is the directory we're in. So if I was to change directory into the dot, nothing would change. We're still in the tilde slash documents as we were before. So the dot represents the directory that we are currently in. The two dots represents the parent directory of the directory we're in. So the directory to the other side of this slash. So the two dots represent the tilde here. So if I was to cd ... it would take me back to the tilde. See? And there's another thing you can do with change directory, and that's change directory minus. And this is essentially a back button. Like, it doesn't take you to the parent directory, and it doesn't take you to the child directory. It takes you to the directory you were just in. So that could be the parent directory, or it could be the child directory, but it's going to be the directory that you were just in. So for me, that was going to be documents. So if I do cd minus, that's going to take me back into documents. Now there's actually not only ways to navigate in the File Explorer in this terminal type environment, there's actually ways to interact with it, and one way we can do that is using makedir. And this, as you've been learning, is just a shortened version of what it actually means, and it actually means make directory, and it's been shortened to mkdir. So we say makedir, and then we specify the directory. So let's call it directory. And it doesn't look like anything happened. But then when we list out the things in the current directory, we can see now there's a new directory in there called directory. Whoops. Never mind that. There's a new directory in there called directory. And now we can change directory into directory. But what if we misspell directory? What if we go directory? It's not going to work. Or what if we go cd directory? That's not going to work either, because it's case sensitive. It has to be exactly what it is up here. It has to have the exact same spelling, the exact same capitalization, and that can get confusing if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. And so one of the things you can do is you can go cd or whatever command you're doing, and you can type out the first letter, and then you press tab, and it's going to auto-complete. See, it's auto-completed directory. But this isn't always so simple. Like, see, if I was back in the root folder, I ls and see there's multiple things that start with D. There's multiple things that start with DO. And so if I go cd D and I press tab, nothing's going to happen. I press tab again, and it's going to show me why nothing happened. It's going to show me desktop, documents, downloads. It's going to show me that there's multiple things that start with D, and it's going to tell me to choose out of these. And so now I go cd D, D, O. I press tab, nothing's going to happen again. I press tab twice, that's because two things start with DO. And so now I want to go back into documents, so cd doc tab, and then it's going to autocomplete and it's going to get me in there, and then I can cd directory and move into directory. And you can see, even though we just made the file, we can ls-a to show all. Even though we just made it, there's still the two things, the two placeholders that are going to be in every single file. They are still there, so that we can navigate to where we want to. So we could cd ... out of here, or cd ... or more complicated things that we can use this dot for later. So what if we wanted to make a file? What if we wanted not just to make a directory? What if we wanted to make a file? Let's say a text file. Something we could use is called Nano. Nano is a built-in terminal text editor. It's an app called Nano. It doesn't stand for anything because that's the name of the app. But there's lots of different text editors that you can run from the command line, like gedit, but for this I'm going to be using Nano because it prints it out onto the terminal. So the way that Nano works is you have to specify a it's a text editor, so you have to every time you open up Nano, you have to specify what file you want to open it up for. And the way you do that is you type the file afterward. So like let's say I want it to open file.txt. Well, there is no file.txt right now, but that doesn't matter to Nano. Nano, if it doesn't see a file named file.txt, it will make a file named file.txt and start to edit it. So let's click enter now, and now we're in Nano. You can see up here it says Nano, and we can start typing in here. So let's say ABC 1, 2, 3, and then maybe a couple special characters just to show you that we can. And you won't be able to use your mouse for navigation because this is the terminal again. So you'll have to use your arrow keys to get around. And down here it shows you the different things you can do. The little up arrow signifies control, so you press the control key and then the C, and then the C if you're doing this one, or the W if you're doing this one. So I'm going to press Control X to exit here, and then it's going to say save modified buffer. This just means save the changes that you made to the file. I'm going to type yes, type Y for yes, and then it's going to ask me the file name I want to write, file.txt, and we can change this here. Let's say file space.txt. Let's put a space in there. Let's see what this does. We put a space in there, and then we click enter, and it says save file under different name. Yes, I do. So I do want to do that. So I'm going to press Y, and we're out of Nano now. We've exited Nano, and if we ls, we now see there is a file.txt in this directory. And if we want to what if we want to just see what's in this file? What if we want to just see the contents of this file? Well, we could do nano file.txt, or we could use something called cat. And cat is a program that takes a file it reads what's in the file and then it prints it out onto the terminal. So instead of having to go into Nano, open up Nano and go in the app and exit out and all that, it would just print it right out here on the terminal. So we use cat and then the file name. Now this is where it gets interesting. Because we put a space in the file name, what do you think is going to happen? So we go file dot text. It says no such file or directory because of the spaces. It took file as separate from .text. So file, because of the spaces, it doesn't realize that these are one and the same. It's looking for a file named file and it's looking for a file named .text. And there's neither of those in this directory. There's only the file space .text. And so it says there's no file like that. I can't find it. And so what we need to do is we need to specify further. We need to tell the computer cat, and then we can use quotation marks. We can use single quotes or we can use double quotes. My preference is single quotes just because it's easier to type. So we do single quotes, file space dot text, single quote, and then we press enter. And see, cat did its job. It printed out the things into the right into the terminal right there. So we've got A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and then the special characters. But another way that you could get around the file space.text is you could always use the trick that I showed you before for the directory. You can use the autocomplete. So because this only has one file in it, we can use F because there's no clash. So whoops, we can use F and then tab to autocomplete. And don't worry about this character, it just inserts that, the forward slash. Notice it's not the same as a backslash like that, it's a forward slash. The computer just uses that character to say that the next character doesn't really count. So it has that before the space, saying that the space doesn't really count as a space, it counts as a different type of text. But don't worry about that. That's deeper coding knowledge than you need to know. So we just tab to autocomplete, and that's going to do the exact same thing here. Another thing that you can do, if we didn't want, let's ls again just to see, if we didn't want file.text to be in here anymore, what if we wanted to delete it? Well, we could use rm. So rm, as you've seen, there's a trend, stands for remove, and we just shortened it to 2 letters just to make it easier to type. So we type rm, and then we type the file that we want to delete. So this would be file, and then I'm going to let it autocomplete by using tab, and then I press enter. I ls again, I list, and nothing shows up. There's nothing in this directory anymore. And so that's how you would remove a file. Now, to show you how you'd remove more than one file, I'm going to have to show you another trick. So let's say, make directory A. So ls, there's now an A. But what if we wanted to make a lot of directories? What if we wanted to make directory A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way to F? Well, we could type out make directory B, make directory C, and go all the way through there. Or we could use the arrow keys. The arrow keys are really handy. If you press up, then it takes you to the last command you typed in. So I press up, and it's going to print out make directory C. And then we could just press backspace D, up, backspace E, enter, up, backspace F, enter. And now if we ls, we've got A, B, C, D, E, F here. And to remove directories, because these are directories, not files, you can see they're blue. To remove directories, it's a little bit different than removing files. You can't just remove and then put the directory. You have to use a little bit different of command, and it's rmdir. If you're seeing a trend here, that's good, because to make a directory, it's mkdir. To remove a directory, it's rmdir. And we've already learned that rm means remove, and we've already learned that dir means directory. So rmdir would mean remove directory. So then remove directory, and we could go remove directory A, B, C, D, E, F, or and use the arrow keys to make it easier on us. Or we could use the asterisk. Now the asterisk is the wildcard in coding. The wildcard is very, very useful in lots of situations, because it just basically means all. So if we do remove dir all, then when we press enter and then we ls, it removed all of those. It removed A, B, C, D, E, and F. It removed every one of those with just one command. And so there's lots of things you can do like that to streamline the process. So let me cd to get back into documents, and then I don't really want this directory called directory in here anymore, so let me remove dir directory there. And there's actually one more thing that I want to show you today, and that's how you would actually run apps straight through the terminal. And so this might be a little weird, because I'm gonna take you like file hunting. It's because of where the file that I want to open is. So I'm gonna go cd cd, and now I'm in the very, very root directory here, and then I'm gonna go cd usr, never mind this, let me remember, cd bin, and then this is where that dot is going to come in handy, because I'm going to show you there's an app in this folder called Chromium, and it's Google Chrome, and we want to open it up, and so all we have to do is to run a file, is to specify the file path, and the file path for this would be, you can just read it from here. It would be /usr/bin/ and then the app is named Chromium, and then we press enter, and see, look at that, it opened up Chrome right here. Google Chrome is open now, just from typing out commands into the command prompt. We can close that out. Never mind that stuff there. That's just Chrome complaining about not being clicked on to open. But what if we didn't want to type out the whole user bin Chromium thing? Well, we could go to the user bin thing, and then we could use the dot. Remember how I told you the dot is a placeholder for the directory you're in? Well, the directory we're in is /user/bin. So dot right now means /user/bin. So we can use the dot to replace this half of the file thing. So we can use ./Chromium. There. And then enter, and it's going to open up Chrome again. And that is the best use of the dot, in my personal opinion. One last thing you can do, if you don't want all this here, you can use the command clear, which is strange for a command that you would have the whole word there, but it is what it is. And then you clear and then enter, and look at that, all clear again, and ready to be used for whatever you want to. But if you notice, you still can use the arrow keys to go up as far as you want to see your history in that. So that was the introductory Linux. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.